Good morning, everyone. Strifegal, playing some more Super Metroid. As I said in my last video, this has been on my list for a long time, just because of the fact that a lot of the big games that I played earlier in my stream were Metroidvania games, were games that were inspired by this one. I've mentioned this game a lot in terms of other games, but I haven't played it on stream. And as I said before, one of the main reasons for that is that, it's not actually a game that I'm super familiar with. Even though Super Nintendo has always been kind of my primary system. It was the first, NES and SNES, I had both as a kid and played a lot of different stuff. And we never had this one. This isn't one that wasn't on our list for a lot of my childhood. And, I played the NES Metroid, but I did not play Super Metroid when I was a kid. So, I have played it. It's not that I haven't played it at all, it's that I haven't played it as much as other games like this. And I know there are high expectations for it, both for the game and for me as a person who plays classic games. Okay, so once again, this game does a great job of doing a foreshadowing. We see these statues and we're like, oh, that's weird. Weird statues with glowing eyes. Now, if you've played the original, you recognize that as very similar to the Ridley and Kraid statues that were the gateway to Torian in the original game. Technically, I guess if you look at the map, you also can see that leads to a new section of Torian. These things, you generate these little flea enemies as you shoot at them. Great way to harvest a few more resources if you need them. And we head down into Rinstar again. And we immediately hear new music. And we see that this is nowhere near the Rinstar that we were in before. It looks nothing like that blue traditional Rinstar. If you're familiar with the game, you also notice that these enemies are not from Rinstar originally. I believe these crab enemies show up in Kraid's Lair, which makes sense given that this is where Kraid's Lair is in this game. In the green Rinstar. Once again, we find, oh, hey, I just fell. That's annoying. I must need a thing for that. We also are going to find out here that we can't do everything right away. Once again, we've kind of explored that a little bit. I want to say that there's a way to do this. I don't know how to do the arm pumps, so we're just going to stop trying to do fancy stuff and just go. It still gives you a missile pack. It says, oh, thanks for exploring. You can't keep going this way yet, but here, have some missiles. Again, this game is very good at stuff like that. And once again, this looks more like Kraid's Lair. These enemies, this color scheme, are very reminiscent of Kraid's Lair from the original Metroid, which is neat. And the door is grayed out, so you have to go through this. which is, again, neat. Forces you, once you go in, I'm guessing that they added that in because people, when they were testing, would get to that dead end and then just be like, oh, I guess I can't go any further. So they force you to kind of uncover the secret right away. And now we have a map. And we suddenly see, holy crap. That's what we did before. This area is huge. We found another save point. Worth noting here, save points do not restore your health, your resources in any way. They are a save point. You also don't retain any progress you make after a save point, so it is important. Once again, we kind of see this where the game does a good job of saying, hey, there's something down here. Can't get it yet, but there's something down here. These enemies, if you shoot them, make it darker. And we get our first missile recharge station. Probably not worth it, but gotta get that map coverage. Very minor annoyance here. The screen transitions are very fixed. You can't pull, you can't do anything during screen transitions. And I'm sure there's, it makes sense, both from a loading perspective, this game is very advanced for the time period, and also from a stopping you from doing a stupid or breaking the game more than you already could. So yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is because I was trying to turn my to toggle my missiles while I was transitioning between screens, and you can't. Minor thing, but it is noticeable because the screen transitions are the only time that it really stops you. This game is very fluid, except for that. You don't have to stop a lot. Also, the cancel button and the accept button are the opposite of what I'm used to on most things, so that's a thing. Okay. So right there, we see, oh, hey, that's that area I couldn't get to before. Over on the left again. Our map is close enough that we can get that little reminder when we get to that save. Okay, what's up here? This is probably not something we want to do right now, but that's okay. This is Spore Spawn. Maybe we did. Maybe I'm wrong. Also, right away, we get this green door. Crap. So this boss, as long as you take your time, isn't too bad. You have these little pollen guys to keep refilling your resources. And so it's not like you're going to run out of health or missiles, as long as you play it smart. That was a little bit aggressive, but honestly, it helped. So I'm kind of getting wrecked right now. I may have been progressing a little bit too quickly through those stages of the boss. There we go. Not too bad. And that's going to get us... Oh, okay. That's right. He makes a platform. It's kind of our first sense of what bosses in this game are like, also. And then we immediately get transported over here, and we get super missiles. So this is one of the other very minor things in this game. Cycling through weapons is annoying. Also, this is a great example because it shows us an area that's off the map. This area, like, as much as the map shows us, there's also stuff on here that it doesn't. And I think this is the first time since we got a map we've seen that. And we find ourselves back where we started-ish. Or in an area that's close to where we started, at the very least. I'm pretty sure that we could have done a little bit more exploring down here first. I think there's another energy tank and missile tank. Nope, that one requires super bombs, which we don't have still. There's something over there that requires the grapple beam. Okay, so I guess we keep going. More missiles? And this is probably the first time where the game, I feel, is maybe a little shortcoming. on how it processes some of this, because it gives you this direction as the seemingly right way, but it does have this other option, and we're going to go do the other option first. Because the charge beam is kind of a big deal, and this is the thing I wish I had gotten before we did Spore Spawn, because it's good. Oh, that's right, you can just jump out. It's like, wait a minute? Yeah, no, the charge beam's kind of out of the way. And it's really the first time the game does that, and the game doesn't do it a lot. But it's kind of the first time that I feel like it really tricks you in that regard. Because it's a pretty big item, and it's not really where you'd expect it to be. Which I guess is good that it forces exploration. Oh, that's right, you do start with a run. Even before you get the speed booster, you can run. I always forget that, and honestly, now we're gonna have this section that we can't get back to for quite a while, I think. Unless we do a lot of backtracking right now. Once again, we're kind of off the map here. See our first energy recharge station. Not that we actually need it right now. Well, you're supposed to have long jump for that anyway, so that's okay. Or high jump, rather. That's right, it's not super missiles there. You can break that tube later, I believe. And sneak through here, though. I don't think we can get through to do anything yet there, but... Once again, we have... Considering how many little tools we've gotten so far, I love how few things we're actually able to uncover in that time. And now we're in North Fair. Oh hey, that's really hot. We shouldn't go in there. Not fast enough for that. Once again, there's an area down here. This time we can actually get through it, though, which is neat. This is another one of those spots where it locks you in and forces you to kind of find an alternate route, which is neat. And I believe this is the high jump. Yep. Which means you can now get to the top of these ledges. Basically, you get a full screen jump, which is really neat. Seriously? Save point and... Oh, I thought it was a recharge room. It is not. Okay. Well, I feel like this is probably a good spot to take a break. We've gotten through... It's one of those where it feels like you've done so much, but at this point we're really just still in this basic introduction, the first section of the game. It shows you a lot at the beginning of the game just to keep you moving, and then it really opens up later. So, hopefully you are still enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.